Hi everybody, and welcome to another week of Meals on the Family SeeSaw. So tonight, to kick off the week for Monday, we've got fish. So Toney and I are having this fish pie that we picked up at Morrison's at the weekend. It's got salmon, cod and haddock in it, and loads of mashed potato and a white sauce with what looks like chives or parsley or something in it. And I put a little bit of cheese over the top before I put it in the oven. It took about 40 minutes in the oven, but it looks really yummy. I'm having that with corn on some steamed vegetables. This is just a couple of little potatoes left over from the potatoes I made for Caleb, so he doesn't like fish pie. He's having fish fingers with these are just the leftover new potatoes from yesterday's dinner that I didn't use. I've just chopped them into quarters, popped them in the active fryer with a little bit of oil and some seasoning just to make kind of crispy little potato pieces. And then Caleb's got the same steamed vegetables and corn, and of course a little bit of ketchup. So Monday night fish supper. Hi everybody, so it's Tuesday evening, and tonight we've got another really simple pasta supper. So this is sausage, mushroom and tomato pasta. Really simple. You just take some sausages, you cut them into chunks of sausage, which you can see in there. And then you take a package of chestnut mushrooms. So those are the brown skinned baby portobellas, they're sometimes called as well. I've just halved those, so I left them quite big pieces, so they're quite meaty. And I just cooked the mushrooms and the sausage together in a pan, a little bit of oil for about 5 minutes, just till they started to brown. And then to that I added a carton of cherry tomatoes, which I just left whole. I knocked up the heat a little bit and just let it cook while the cherry tomatoes sort of started to burst in their skins. That creates a little bit of sauce. Excuse me. And then I added some garlic powder, some onion powder, some red chili flakes and some chopped fresh rosemary. And then I stirred through that some cooked penne pasta. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So it's not a saucy pasta. This is quite a kind of meaty, kind of hearty sort of pasta. And we're just going to have that with a little bit of garlic baguette. And I'll probably put some grated cheese or something on top. But it's got the cherry tomatoes and the mushrooms. So it's got veggies in it. But yeah, really simple, this one. Again, something you can have on the table probably in half an hour, start to finish. So perfect for a busy weeknight. Hi everybody, so it's Wednesday evening and I just wanted to show you this before I put the pie crust on it. So this is the filling for a creamy chicken, leek and ham pie. So I've got 3 chicken breasts which I just browned in the pan in a little bit of oil. Once it was browned I added 2 chopped leeks. I cut the leeks in half and then sliced them really thinly and let that cook for about 5 minutes. Added a splash of water to the pan also at that time. Then I added a couple of chopped carrots and let it cook for another 3 or 4 minutes. Then I added about 400 ml of chicken stock, and I just let that really boil quite rapidly to reduce down the stock a little bit. Once that was done, I added in about 2/3 of a tub of cream cheese, and I've used light cream cheese for this. And then I've added some mixed herbs, a little bit of black pepper, and some shredded ham hock. So this was just the ready bought shredded ham hock pieces. And then just combined that all together. I'm now going to put that into a pie dish, and I've got some short crust pastry, ready-made short crust pastry, which I'm going to use to top it. I'm just going to cook it in the oven for about 20 minutes on 180 fan, 200 Celsius. I'll wash the pastry with a bit of egg wash, just to let the top nice and brown and the pastry cook. Everything else is cooked in the filling. So that's the recipe, really simple recipe that for a filling for a delicious creamy chicken, leek and ham pie. And so there is our finished pie. So you can see it was just a short crust pastry that I put over the top. I didn't do it fancy, it's just quite rustic. I just trimmed the edges and then sort of tucked them under the pie dish. But it's a nice deep crusted dish, you can see there. So loads of filling in it. It was nearly filled to the top. And we're just going to have a few sweet potato fries that I've just made in the oven while the pie was cooking. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's quite cold tonight after all the rain. We had a beautiful day today, but it was quite cold, and then we've had football training. So really looking forward to getting tucked into chicken, leek and ham pie. Hi everybody, so for Thursday evening we're having this delicious sausage and bean chilli with some jacket potatoes with grated cheese. So this was super simple. Somebody had asked me to post a cook with me for this when I posted the meal plan, but I only saw the comment as I was cooking it, so it was too late to do that. But this really is super simple. So you take a pack of sausages, take them out of the skins and just cook them, brown them in a pan with a little bit of oil. You don't need much because it's sausage meat. You could use sausage meat if you've got a butcher near you that does nice flavoured sausage meats. You could use that, but the beauty of using a sausage is you can pick the kind of flavour profile of the sausage that you like most. So I've just got Cumberland sausages in here, so a nice herby sausage. Once they are starting to brown, you kind of break up the meat from the sausages, brown it off a little bit, and then add a chopped red onion and a chopped red pepper. Cook it together for a few more minutes. Then I added a can of kidney beans in chili sauce and a can of taco beans. So if I find this is the tin for that. So it's just a mixture of beans in a spicy tomato sauce. So I added those and a can of chopped tomatoes and about 200 mils of water. A little bit of seasoning, but not much, just a sprinkle of salt and a sprinkle of pepper. Brought the whole thing up to a boil and just let it simmer away for about 15 minutes. And that was it. Super simple. It's using pantry staple items. So all you need is the meat. You could use mince for this. The sausage meat just adds a little bit of a different flavour to the chili. And on an autumn night like tonight, it's perfect with jacket potatoes and cheese. So tucking into our Thursday night supper, jacket potatoes with sausage and bean chili. Hi everybody, so we're back to Friday evening, and tonight we've got a really simple, once again a really simple dish here. It's called arroz con pollo, which is Spanish for rice with chicken. So really simple dish. All you do, I took some chicken breasts and I just cut them in half. They were quite large, so I cut them into halves, and I think one I even cut into 3 pieces. Just browned them in the pan with a little bit of oil for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side until they were browned. I wasn't cooking them through, just browning them. Took those out of the pan, added to the pan a chopped onion and chopped red pepper. I let those cook for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I added to that a cup of rice, just regular long grain rice. I added a teaspoon of cumin, a little pinch of saffron. Now you could use turmeric, but I like to use saffron in Mexican style dishes or Spanish style dishes. It's a slightly different flavour, and it is very expensive, though I do recognise that. So it's only a tiny pinch, but you could use turmeric if you wanted to. And then I put in about 500 mils of chicken stock, so about 2 cups of chicken stock to that. Let it come up to a boil and just let it boil away for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then I put the chicken back in the pan, put the lid on and let it cook for 15 minutes. And then I just added a good handful of frozen peas and let it cook for about another 5 minutes. So all the vegetables are mixed in nicely with the rice, which is nice and moist, you can see there. And then the chicken pieces have just been cooked through. They were seared to brown the outsides and then just cooked through while the rice was cooking in the pan. So chicken and rice, or arroz con pollo, rice with chicken, and we're just going to have that with some tortilla wraps and a bit of like sour cream and some grated cheese. Oh, the other thing I did add into this, when I added the chicken broth, chicken stock, I added about half a cup of salsa, just the kind of ready-made salsa that you find in the Mexican food aisle, just to give it a bit more flavour, and it gives it a bit of tomatoey without putting a whole can of chopped tomatoes or anything in there. You could use chopped tomatoes, you probably wouldn't need a whole can, but that just gives it a bit more veggie, if you like, and the salsa gives it that Mexican flavour as well. So it was half a cup of salsa with 500 mils of chicken stock. Hi everybody, so it's Saturday night, and because it's autumn we've gone very orange for dinner tonight. I just realised that everything on the plate looks orange. So these are chicken and mushroom slices. Got them from Aldi, just a little filled kind of pastry bake. We're having them with some curly fries cooked in the actor fryer and baked beans. Now, Caleb doesn't like mushrooms and he doesn't like baked beans, so he's got chicken fingers Sort of thing I always keep in the freezer for days like this when there's something that I know he won't like. I usually have some kind of chicken or fish fingers or burgers or something that I can easily make up for him. He's got the same curly fries. He also doesn't like baked beans, so he's got alphabetti spaghetti. So that's our very orange dinner for a very autumnal Saturday night. Hi everybody, so it's Sunday evening and tonight we've got roast chicken dinner, so with all the trimmings. So Caleb and I have got a leg and thigh portion each. Caleb's got some of the skin there, Yorkshire pudding, mashed potatoes and some steamed vegetables along with chicken gravy, and then that's mine. Just the chicken's all still connected on mine. I've got 2 Yorkshires and otherwise the same as Caleb. So it's been wet and miserable today. We had a rugby festival this morning which was wet, but actually the worst of the rain was before and after the festival, so we got through it without getting too soaked. But yeah, quite enjoyed just being in the house this afternoon and in the dry. So looking forward to this lovely roast chicken dinner to end our week of meals here on the SeeSaw, and we hope to see you back here soon.